What's good with everybody? How y'all doing? This is Joseph R. Wheeler III, artist, founder, president of the ONYXCON Foundation. Going live again for y'all like I like to do. I try to do anyway, every day if I can. At some point, I like to holler at my people. Let y'all know I appreciate y'all. 1,000, almost 200 of y'all. We're gonna make that 2,000. How about that? Let's make that 2,000 by the end of the month. And then push it into like 2,500 and then get like 5,000. Yeah, by January 1st. Let's go for 5,000. Can we do that? I know we can. I know y'all can. Cause y'all the real ones. Y'all the reason for the season. Mi gente. Worldwide. Right? What's up? Dominican Republic, República Dominicana. Okay? All my Dominicans, all my Mexicanos. What's up, Malaysia? Mantap. Yeah. Only my Malaysians and other Southeast Asians gonna understand what I just said. If you don't know, you need to look back at all my videos. You gotta go through the travel vlogs so that you understand the language around here. You know what I'm saying? We speak a universal tongue around here. We speak to the world. We speak to the world. You know what I'm saying? But hope everybody had a good Turkey Day. That's what I'm gonna call it, Turkey Day. Whatever you want to call it, Family Day. Whatever you do at any time in America, you got your time off, if you're in America. Because like I said, we got an international audience. But I know a lot of my people in the States tend to have that time off and enjoy it with family. And that's what time it is. That's what it should be. Let me see. Okay. Checking some settings on my phone here. There we go. It's cold today, obviously, as you can tell. It's definitely cold. I'm always cautious when I go live too now because I've realized I've done some lives in the recent past where I thought y'all could hear me, and then when I go back and watch the replay, I'm like, damn, they can't hear me. Or put it better, you can hear it in the beginning of the video, and then at some point, if there was a bad signal, or if I had to stop it for a minute and come back, which usually has no bearing on it. Usually that has no effect at all. But sometimes it just goes out. The sound, I'll just be going and I'll look back and it'll be like, and I'll be like, dang, oh man, sound gone. What's up, one in the building? I don't know if you're one of my subscribers. If you are, you can holler back and let me know. But make sure my sound levels are good. I'm trying to make sure everybody can hear me good. Let me know if you can hear me good. But you know what? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me good. If you can hear me good, let me get a thumbs up. I need to know y'all can hear me because sometimes the sound be acting up. Let me get one of these. If you can hear me right now. If you can hear me. There we go. All right. That's what I'm talking about. Participation in the building. Rest of y'all need to catch up. We got 4 of them in the building. 3 of them kind of special. They need to give me a thumbs up so I know they can hear me. I appreciate y'all. But yo, hope y'all enjoyed the thankful day, as I was saying. There we go. There they go. They can hear me. That's right. Hit the thumbs up if you can hear me. If you can hear me, hit the thumbs up. I appreciate you. I'm gonna start doing that. I'm gonna start doing a sound check every time I go live because I've learned, like I was saying, I don't know if you were here when I was talking early. People come in at different times, but I was saying I had a couple of lives in the past where I'm up here just going and like, you know, if you know my channel, you know how I do. This is a very powerful medium. YouTube's live will allow you to like switch between apps, and every time you, like if I need to go check a text or something, you know, I just tell you, hey, I'll be right back, right? And when you flip over and then flip back, if you publish it, it won't, you know, create no block in it. It'll just like flow. It'll be a little bit of a moment you could tell there was a switch in the continuum, but yeah, you'll know. 14 in the building. Let me get a thumbs up if you can hear me. Make sure that my sound is right wherever you at. Let's check. We're doing sound check. 14 in the building. Let me get some thumbs up. We got 5. Can't only be 5 people can hear me. 14 in the building. Let's go. Thumbs up if you can hear me. So anyway, I enjoyed my holiday as I always do. Shout out to my family. My mom and pops, man. I'm telling you, my mom is amazing. Just, it blows my mind. Like, I'm thinking about all the years. You're talking about, like, literally, in my lifetime, almost 50 years of always cooking on an absolute 5-star restaurant level every single year. I think I only remember 1 year where they decided, I don't feel like doing all that. And my mom, she wanted them to always say, I don't feel like doing it, but then she still do it. You know what I'm saying? If your mom is like that, your grandma, whoever cooks in the house is like that, they say they're not going to do it, but every year they do it. Let me get that thumbs up. You know about that life, right? 5 in the bit. Well, we had 5. Oh, snap. There we go. Beautiful. So, no, like, for real, it's always funny. She does it every year. She does it well. Amazing. And, you know, we do the traditional fare for the most part. I noticed we didn't have, at first I almost didn't even notice it because we had like a, what was it, like a cheese squash casserole type thing. And at first I thought that was the mac and cheese. We didn't have the mac and cheese. That was like, oh, blasphemy. But but to be honest, it's all good because we had so much other stuff. I didn't even notice it was not on the menu. Like, you were just eating all this other stuff. You know, of course, the turkey dressing, cornbread dressing. You know what I'm saying? Cornmeal. That's some real Southern stuff right there. Not the white bread dressing. No, not the stovetop stuffing. Stovetop stuffing. No, none of that. None of that. I've had that too in my life, of course. It's okay, but don't nothing touch that cornbread dressing. It's all about that cornbread dressing, man. That cornbread dressing. Woo! That sage up in there and all that other stuff. Just, oh man. Woo! You know you got the leftovers too. I'm gonna hit it when I get home probably, but well, maybe not, because I'm supposed to be hanging out with some homies tonight. So we're going to see about that. I don't know if I'll do any content from that. I mean, it may be a moment up in there where I can do like, I don't know, 1 minute video or something, shout out everybody or something like that. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I might keep that moment to myself. You know, so everything ain't for the camera. Everything ain't for the camera. Hanging out with the homies, sometimes you just keep the good times rocking to yourself, you know. But yeah. Hope you're enjoying family time. Doing my courier thing, as you can tell again. You know what I'm saying? Even if I'm not doing that, if I'm wearing this is what that represents. This represents that other work. Doing what you got to do to get to where you want to be. The other stuff, the side gigs, all that, all my side hustlers. If you're doing all them side gigs to stay afloat, put the thumbs up. Let me get the thumbs up for that. Come on. 2 in the building. I know one of y'all got to be out here. That's just the reality of that. Especially if you're in America. Everybody got, like, the old In Living Color classic comedy show started by the Wayans brothers, but Keenan Ivory Wayans particularly, who started it. And yo, that's the realness right there. Like, they had this show, they had a sketch on there, a comedy sketch, where it was supposed to be a Jamaican family, and the dad would always be talking about, how many jobs you got, man? People come over the house, I think it was called Hey Man. It's silly as hell. And they'd be like, I only have 1 job. He'd be like, 1 job, you lazy lima bean. Oh my God, I used to love that. But when and at the time, I wasn't really old enough to really be working. So I understood the joke, but I didn't really live the joke. Then when you get old enough to where you got multiple jobs and stuff, man, that joke hit hard. You have 10 job, man. If you don't have no job, you're a lazy lima bean. Oh my God, I used to love that. If you remember In Living Color and you know the joke I'm talking about, thumbs up, thumbs up. We're gonna work for these thumbs up. I'm gonna give y'all prompts. We're gonna start doing that in these lives. We're gonna get y'all active around here. We're gonna get y'all active. I wanna make sure my people are participating. You know, they call it social media. So let's get social, respectfully. Always. Respect first. That's the other phrase we live by. And it's ONYXCON gospel, okay? The way the words go, because they've been out of order for years, but we're gonna reclaim it in the right direction. Ever since Lil' Kim said it in the Lock song, talking about money, power, respect. Nope, got it wrong, Kim. I'm sorry, got it wrong. It's respect, power, money, okay? And as late prodigy of Mobb Deep said, respect, power, money, in that exact order, period. Period. In that order. If you ain't saying it in that order, you're missing the point. You don't know what time it is. respect, power, money in that exact order. Say it with me. Respect, power, then money in that exact order. And I was, you know, I brainstorm a lot when I go live with y'all. So today going to be more or less the same. Sometimes I have a couple of topics and I just stay on topic. Today's one of the days I'm kind of brainstorming, freestyling it. And I was watching, I don't even know how it came up. You know, you're watching YouTube and stuff come up because you watch something else and you forgot that one thing you watched may have prompted the algorithm to be like, he might like this. And you're like, I didn't say I want to see that, but it don't matter. Just throw it at you. And it was the infamous, shit, the infamous Dr. U. The infamous Dr. U. Dr. Umar, I swear. Sometimes it's like, I don't want to say the name too much because it's like, I don't want to bring more credit to this because it's becoming a thing. He's been a name, you know. Most people know who he is. But it's a scary thought sometimes. It's like the, and I'm going to mention another one that I don't mention often because I don't want to bring fame to these names when I feel like they're more hurt than help. And this next one I'm going to mention, I would listen to Umar before I would listen to this person. But it's like another Charleston White type energy, you know. I've been, after Charleston was interviewed by Cam Newton on Cam Newton's show, oh, I was done. That was it. I was like, this is the most ridiculous, make a little bit of sense to turn around and make no sense at all. Like it, with him, it's going to happen immediately. He's going to make a little bit of sense if you know most of the stuff he's talking about. And then he's just going to destroy it all. It's like he's going to build up everything. He's going to make a giant Lego house of logic, and then he's just going to slap it down in 5 minutes. But the interview is 2 to 3 hours long. So, and it's going to keep happening per hour. Like, build it up, slap it down. Build it up, slap it down. That's all he does. Now, with Umar, it's a tad bit different. Hold tight. All right. So I was saying, you know, with the Umar situation, he's gaining momentum because one thing I know about social media, once you have, everybody's got to have, I mean, you just dig into, I mean, I'm an actor, I'm a writer, I'm a producer. I'm in the film business. I'm in the biggest, greatest level of entertainment industry there is. And social media is like another tier of that. So if you don't have enough personality, charisma, something that's going to make people feel rapport with you and want to hear what you got to say, then you ain't going to never have an audience. So I know that we all do that. We all just share parts of our personality and blow up certain parts, sensationalize certain parts, whatever the case may be, to keep the audience engaged. But I've noticed, because I've been watching his development over the years, only because he tends to hit a couple of times. Like I'll ignore most people who are in that whole, you know, super extremist of whatever their perspective is until they start gaining enough critical mass. Now, when you start gaining critical mass and people are actually listening to you, now I'm concerned, because audience ain't just an audience. It can become a cult of personality in a very bad way. You know, there's good people out here, and they have a cult following, so to speak. They have people who respect them and listen to them and care about them and don't even know them, but they want to see them do well. And I feel like I do have that kind of audience in many ways for what I've built with ONYXCON. There are people who respect what I've done in that regard. But the difference, I hope they always know, is I'm always my own man. Like, ONYXCON is what I built. It's my baby. But I'm not ONYXCON. And I like to keep that separate. Like I am, but I'm not. I am ONYXCON, but I'm not ONYXCON. I'm going to say that again. I am ONYXCON. I am ONYXCON, but I'm not. But I am not. But I am me, always first. So as an individual, and that's why I always do the disclaimer, views and opinions expressed by yours truly are not necessarily those of ONYXCON's affiliates, associates, sponsors, etc. because all those people we need to keep this thing going, at any given time, somebody can feel offended or not think, I didn't know that you thought that or agreed with that or whatever. And then they drop ship. They I see it all the time with our numbers. The more you gain numbers, the more you're going to lose them every now and then. I've seen that on Instagram. I've literally reposted something, because mostly over there we do a lot of reposts. I've reposted things in cultural, content curation that has, I guess, offended some people or certain demographics, and they literally jump ship overnight. You'll wake up and lose damn near 100 people. But I've learned to not give a damn. I mean, not even learn to. I appreciate it more and more, because if you're not really into whatever we're doing, then it's going to be a problem later anyway. So I love in the beginning when people draw those boundaries and set those red flags, lines, whatever you want to call it. I love it, because I don't want to rock with nobody that don't want to rock with me. It's just a waste of time in every aspect of life. You need people who want to be with what you're doing, who see the vision, appreciate what you have to offer, and want to, in some way, align their legacy and their purpose with yours, because it's a there's compatibility of some kind of level, right? But this cult of personality that's happening with Umar is scary to me in a way. Now, I'm not one to promote fear, but I'll tell you why I use the word scary, right? Because I always say, I live by, I ain't trying to be afraid. Every time I sense it, am I afraid? No. You sense danger, okay? So maybe that would be a better word to say here, because I go by this phrase too, that came from the movie After Earth. Shout out to Will Smith for that character's line. But the one I love that he said in there, and that was a good movie that people just completely slept on, because let critics tell them what they want to think, and then people start dogging stuff out, and they go in with a negative expectation, and it was actually a great movie. It had its parts that I wish were better, but that don't mean it wasn't a great movie. It was a great movie. But anyway, if you ever seen After Earth, watch it. You got time? Most people sitting at home trying to find something to watch, holiday stuff, between now and Christmas, all the way to New Year. Check out After Earth. If you ain't seen it in a few years, check out After Earth, okay? But the line, fear is a choice. Danger is real. Danger is real. Fear is a choice. That's everything right there. Danger is real. Your spider sense go off. The spidey sense, wait a minute, spidey sense tingling. Something ain't right. I sense danger. That's real. That's real. But to fear it is a choice. You got the power of Spider-Man. Go ahead and knock the villain out. Big or small, it don't matter. Whatever come my way, if it's in the way, it got to get gone, because we got things to handle. Or I got to figure out a way to avoid it. Fight or flight. Fly like an eagle if you got to, and have no shame. Let those stuck on the ground talk about, oh, you're a coward, while they getting stomped by the monster. Hello. Sometimes it be like that. You got to know that you got to read the room, y'all. You got to read the room. Shout out to my dad for ingraining that one in my head. I mean, it's an old phrase that a lot of people been saying, but he set it up that I always like to credit my pops for that one. But yeah, man, you got to read the room. And you got to know when to leave, too. We'll go to Kenny Rogers on that. Know when to hold 'em. Know when to fold 'em. It's the time to go. Right? So anyway, yeah, I think with this situation with Umar right now, he is just, he's becoming a cult of personality in a way, because he's getting on more and more shows. He's never had a lack for being interviewed. But because of his sensationalism, whether people like what he's got to say or not, they love to get on there and argue with him on a show. And so that's more or less what happens when he was recently on Joe Budden's show. And Joe Budden, being a hip-hop mostly based perspective show, podcast, which has gained new members and people I don't even know who I'm looking at sometimes. Like Melissa Ford, I would always know with her fine self. Love me some Melissa Ford. Respect to Melissa. She's been through a lot, and she's still gorgeous. And she just kind of, I hate to say, is playing the role of what is so typical of that type of show. She never has much to say or gets talked over. She's just there to look pretty on the couch. She only giggles a little bit and has a few words, and you can tell she's frustrated. But she getting a check, so she ain't tripping. She ain't tripping. She just be right there for it. She'll throw in her one or two prophetic questions, and everybody will argue about whatever she brought up, but won't let her get a word in edgewise to cap it off or bring more understanding or perspective to it. And it's a mostly male-dominated show anyway, so it's that typical thing. And so you got, Joe Budden, more or less the captain. But on this particular episode, there's another guy, light-skinned brother, who, so it's like, let me see, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like 5 people who could say something as host personalities. Of course, Joe Budden being the main one. And then Umar. And there was a guy off camera, and he barely said, I think he asked like 2 things and just listened and laughed the whole time. Or went, oh my God, and just laugh. He just a sound box. But I'm sure on other episodes he got more to say, but for whatever reason, he wasn't talking much. But the guy who was actually on the scene, because there's a couple of seats in the room in the way their studio is set up, but the one who was sitting right, with space between him and Umar, he really was going at him. And I was howling, because most of the time I was feeling everything he was saying. Young bro was on point. And I say young, I don't know, he might be 30-something. But he was on point. For most, not all, most of what he had to say, because he said something like, oh man, I'm talking about, I just kind of had it on while I was doing something else, and I'm hearing it, and every now and then I look at the screen like, oh my gosh, really? Did this dude really just say that? With Umar going off and saying some nuttiness. I said, wow, this guy right here, boy, damn, he really on one. For real though. And so the guy would be checking him on it. He wasn't letting him get away with that. Where usually when he gets loud and gets all whatever, most folk, they just, they quiet down or laugh and, oh, man, you're so ridiculous. But they just let him have their way with their show. They let him take over. He wasn't hearing that. But the first thing he kept saying, he said, you keep moving the goalposts. You keep moving the goalposts. I said, oh, I love it. I love it. Like, yeah, exactly. It's like, I'm trying to kick a field goal and you moving the goalposts symbolically. Like you won't let the game be the game where it's my turn to speak. He would keep trying to talk over. He's like, no, it's my turn. And at some point he realized, okay, I am on this other person's platform. Let me hush and let them speak, because I'm looking like an idiot, and a childish idiot at that. So he would hush up a little bit and let him say something. And they went back and forth on a lot of major topics. Of course, they went into politics and everything. But the one that gets me that Umar is riding off of these days, literally riding off of, is this whole concept that interracial marriage in particular is just like blasphemy to him. And that all black, under the label of what he considers black people, should only be dealing with each other romantically. When I tell you that right there, it's perfect bait for keeping him popular. Because with the orchestrated and even without social media element of the war of the sexes, which goes beyond race, it's just a general war of the sexes that's timeless, so to speak. You always gonna have an audience, because there's always somebody who's hurt from a relationship. There's always somebody, speaking of heterosexual relationships, and even, other, but we don't get into that because we can't speak from that perspective, so we're gonna stay in our lane. From heterosexual relationships, man, people's emotions, when they hurt, when they feel hurt from the past or whatever, boy, no matter what they say, that be a driving force in almost everything they do and why they do it. Whether they go ever admit it or not, it's human psychology. And the worst part is, he's a psychologist who tries his damnedest to avoid personal talking about his own situations, which, is sometimes smart. But the funny thing about that is you can't, the way people work is like, intelligent people work. You can't give much advice if you don't be an example. People don't trust you if you ain't an example. Show me why why should I listen to you? Like, if you're telling somebody about marital advice, but you've never been married. Like when I do relationship goals in the art life, our content here, I tend to mention I've been married and I'm divorced. But I wasn't married like most people get married these days. It was quick and it was over in a few months. And no, I went years during the pivotal years of when most people are just dating. I was married. My 20s and 30s, all of that got sucked up into that relationship. And so, and I've spoke of my regrets. I've spoke of the wisdom I gained from it. And that's why I ultimately have no regrets. And I realized that time and time again, when people be on that, They just be talking, man. They just be talking. That's a dope cap. I ain't seen that one before. It's pretty fresh. You know, I like caps. But talking about baseball caps, not lies. You know, I gotta say that for the youngins. Cap, 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 cap. No, damn it. There's another meaning for the word cap. Okay? All right. Talking about baseball caps. All right. Fitted. That is my favorites. And the one that I was just looking at, this dude was walking by, I was like, never mind. It's cool looking cap. I hate when I see it from the front and then I see the back and I see it's a damn, got the little plastic snaps. I'm like, oh, this damn snap. Why couldn't it be a fitted? Like, because all that tells me is if I go looking for it, that's what you're going to find. They ain't going to have the fitted version, more than likely. There's only a few caps that New Era and other major producers have realized, yo, people want the option, you know? Like, you know you're going to hit them all hard for the price, but can we get the option? Can we have the option? Thank you. Oh, my gosh. So anyway, man, this order's taking way too long, y'all. This better be it. And it's probably not. Nope. She just rolling right on by. Damn. Where is my order? Man, this is horrible. It is that Friday, right? So, craziness. But as I was saying, I digress. Speaking on this Dr. Umar on Joe Budden's show. So he basically, was talking all over one of the main cats that be running things for the show, one of the main talk, interviewers. And the guy was not hearing it. Like I said, he kept standing his ground. I really appreciated that because I've never seen anybody tame the lion, so to speak, like that, because he be acting up like it's all about me. But dude, you a guest no matter what. You disrespectful thing, you, man. Just dude. And again, back to my phrase, man. Respect, power, money. That alone is the number one reason I don't like his energy for everything good he might say, because every now and then he'll say some stuff like that. You don't get that popular from just talking complete nonsense. You got to say a little truth. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm not religious, but what the Christians say, they say the devil gonna give you a little bit of truth before he start telling lies. Exactly. Yeah, he gonna give you that. He gonna always give you that on purpose, because he knows the room too. He knows how to. He's a psychologist and all this other stuff he claims. He knows how to play people, and you can see him doing it. He like a politician too. That's another thing. They got on politics, and he said something that really got me. That's when I was like, danger is real. Fear is a choice. I don't fear you, but I'm concerned about your perspective with so many people liking it and thinking you got the answer to everything, and what you're saying is wise information. But it's skewed. It's skewed, even when it is the truth. It's skewed with a personal agenda. And a lot of these people, if you're really listening, you'll find out what they own and why they own it. Joe Budden kept asking about his personal relationships, because every now and then he would leave a door kind of cracked to where he could slide that in as a segue. And he said, "Were you in a relationship then?" And he's like, he tried to laugh it off, go around. He's like, no, like answer the damn question, please. And he pretty much said that at one point that he believes in polygamy and wants to have two wives, two queens, as he puts it. You know, now I don't see anything wrong with that if you can provide for both. And he did make it clear he understood that concept, because he took it even further at one point and elaborated to the point of saying that he feels that, but this is when it got weird, like I say. He says he wants two wives, but then he said some things that the other guy, not Joe Budden, but the other guy pretty much said, he said something and it alerted Joe to be able to throw in another jab. And Joe was like, you don't like love. This is not an exact quote, but he said something like, you don't believe in love, or you don't value or respect love in relationships. And he was like, no, I didn't say that. I didn't say. He was like, no. That's exactly like he had figured him out. And I'm talking about, he was like the boxer trying to avoid the uppercut, but it already landed. It had already landed. And I was like, yeah, they done pulled your card on that one there, sir. That was it. That was everything. This dude has been through, and in so many words he said, he's attempted to have these two wives he wants, and he ain't found nobody who want to get with the program yet. As much as he's pushing, this Pan-African agenda that he says he's on, and I hate how this ain't true. A lot of folks who try to sum Africa, the second largest continent up in the world, as if everybody was on the same thing. Hold tight for me. Oh boy, oh boy. Anyway, so yeah, he tries to they a lot of, not just him, but a lot, and this is not true of every. I want to say some, but I will say most that I've come across. Most Afrocentrics who are on that extreme tip, it's the same as any extreme. You know what it is? It's like the movie Higher Learning, where Ice Cube played a magnificent role, okay, as what was it, Fudge? I think his name was Fudge, the character's name, if I remember right. But anyway, if you've never seen Higher Learning, the classic from John Singleton, who also did Boys in the Hood, who also did Poetic Justice, you need to see all these movies anyway. If you're a hip hop head, this is just mandatory viewing. You gotta know these things. It's common stuff to know. But anyway, in Higher Learning, the juxtaposition that John Singleton showed that was so brilliant is how at the point in the movie where the white kid who was in the first roommate to, they both were freshmen, and then first started, he had a weird acting, real quiet, total introverted, nerdy kid. I forget the guy, the actor who played him, because he did a great job too, excellent job. But he's the white kid who's like trying to figure out life like most kids are at that age, just getting to college and stuff. And he's boarded with Omar Epps' character, who's from South Central LA, got the street edge and all that. He's a track star. He's there on a track scholarship as an athlete. He's not a dummy. He's not the dumb jock. But his passion is he wants to run and be famous in the running, right? Okay. The other kid, you don't know what his degree. I think he's just, I don't even remember him even having a degree or anything. He's just trying to figure it all out. Like, I'm just here. I'll pick my major later, which is common. You know what I'm saying? Freshman year, people might have an idea. Some people have no idea. They're trying to figure it out and they pick it their sophomore year, whatever. But the guy was like getting bullied by everybody. Getting bullied by the blacks, getting bullied by the whites, getting bullied. He's the weird. None of the girls want him. He's the awkward guy. Nobody think he's hot. He can't get nobody to come through and get it on with him like most college kids trying to do. None of that. He couldn't do none of that, right? So he gets to a point where he gets introduced to, after he's been bullied so much, to a group of skinheads, white supremacist group, that be hanging around on the campus trying to recruit. And he falls prey to this nonsense. And if you know the rest of the movie, or if you haven't seen it, I won't tell you that, because it's still worth watching and finding out if you've never seen Higher Learning. But the point I'm making is Ice Cube's character was a guy who was the perpetual student. He from the hood too in the movie, his character, and he's never trying to go back because he don't really. He talk all this, our community, what we got, what we ought to be about, but he always want to stay at the college, right? And he don't want to really graduate. He can't. He never seems to have his credits right. How long you been here, man? Oh, he's the senior for like 6 years and shit. You could have had a master's by now, but you're still a senior because you keep coming back because the school allows you to drop in and drop out. So, but every year, hey, he get to meet some new fine freshman honeys who once it's the black girls, and he's all about the black this, black that. So, he push up on all the new young hotties. He get him one in the first week and tie him down. He probably, if the movie really got deep, he the kind of dude who probably got a bunch of baby mamas from girls who done graduated and got tired of his ass and went on, but they still got a child by him and all that. If they had really got real about that kind of character. But anyway, but the thing is, as brilliant as Fudge was, he don't really want to elevate beyond where he's at. He just wants to stay right in that little pocket where he's being worshipped for being so smart at school. But in the real world, he's nobody, and he knows it, so he'll never want to graduate. He only famous at college. He only big time at college. So he'll never want to graduate. And then the other guy who doesn't even go to the school, who just is nearby and mad at the world and thinks everything's about the oppression of the white man and all this stuff, he trying to come recruit all the introverted white kids that feel like they're outcasts to join his mob. And most of them do. And he got a bunch of extreme nutballs with him. And all that ends up clashing. So when I see Umar, that's what I see. I see it's the Higher Learning situation. It's that guy versus whatever he deems as white supremacy, which in some cases, yes, he's labeled it well for exactly what it is, where it stands. You know, he spoke out on the current next administration repeat of the disaster. Agreed. Like I say, I can always see where you make sense, but I also don't see where you don't make sense. But it never ends there. Like as soon as he gets you on that, like, yeah, okay, I agree with you there. Yeah. Cut on my track. Cut on my track, man. Shit, let me hear my joint from YG and Nipsey. You know what I'm saying? I don't, you know what I'm saying? If you know, you know, right? I don't know how deep this particular platform is, and I've been here too long. It's a business. I'm here to work, so I ain't trying to mess up my monetization. So we're going to play the game, right? Like Fudge character said in the movie, when Omar Epps' character started getting a little bit cocky about what he thought he knew about Black history and things that's going on in politics, he said, hey, man, don't you know we behind enemy lines? Yeah, that part. So like I say, just like how he said that, and it was true, that's what Umar does. He'll give you something, he's going to sprinkle it with a little something that makes sense, but then he's going to turn right around and say something so blasphemous and outlandish and so divisive and unprogressive and, oh man, and just shoot down all of the damn hope of what people, and not just hope, actual progress, which every time somebody would say, yeah, there were whites that helped blacks and did this and did, no, that ain't true. What did they ever do that ever made a real difference? Well, if you want to go that damn far, what did anybody do? If everything's all the ish bag that you say it is, it's just one big bag of ish, then what has anybody done for the last few decades, since the inception of this labeled country? Huh? What has anybody done then? Because again, this kind of person always wants to fight, but not really fight. You know? Just like Fudge's character in the movie, he might get in a brawl on campus and get picked up by campus police and get expelled or something like that. He'll do something that makes, brief headlines. If World Star was still a thing, it'd be every video going viral, whatever. And it don't have to be that these days. Just get YouTube viral fight videos. People love nonsense with that. So, yeah, if you want to show them that you from Philly, I'm from Philly. And, oh, gosh, man. I got real friends from Philly that they just like me about being from Atlanta. It's like, yo, yes, our town's got there's not a such thing as a town where there's a concentration of black folks dealing with struggle and Latinos or anybody else who's been marginalized dealing with struggle, including poor whites, where there's not a struggle and people ain't hard and tough and crazy and got all the problems that these cities have, the gangs, the drugs, everybody ready to go at any time and everybody got the guns. That is just I'm so sick of it. My hood harder than yours. Man, who gives a funk? If you're really about this progress you say you about, then let's talk what really makes progress and stop lying to people about you're just angry because you've never been the fly guy. Suddenly you are kind of fly to some people in this group of cult followers. And you want to be acknowledged for that. Let's just keep it about that. Let's just don't pretend that you really want anything to change, because if everything really became what you're talking about, you wouldn't have an audience no damn more. Not for the way you're building your audience. Not for when it's just all about you want this so-called revolution. Man, if these people don't stop playing with that word. Revolution is definitely, as KRS One says, revolution implies violence. And he says, whether you fight or not, the blood is still spilling and we're chilling. And he was trying to give it from both sides, saying, well, okay, if you want to do that, guess what though? You got to fight. Get ready to get bloody. Get ready to be hurt. Get ready to go to funerals. Get ready to be in the hospital. Get ready to have a hospital that'll admit you. Because if you really at war and you split up a whole country, you get in the wrong damn ICU, they might put something in your daggum vial. Like who gonna take care of you, soldier? Since you really want to live this I'm a warrior life, man, come on. Come on now. Come on. He had the audacity to sit up on the couch and diss Obamacare. I'm like, wow, this guy right now. Wow. Just because you got some money and might be able to afford expensive health care And that's another thing. Like, why would you, unless you got your own personal doctor for every possible situation, it might behoove you. Here goes my favorite word, one of them many. Love that word. It might behoove one not to talk about an industry you might need one day on a public level. Since, you know, I've seen him do videos where he always thinks he's under surveillance and everybody, he thinks that the CIA and everybody really gives a damn enough about him that they out to get him. FBI is tracing his every step. Dude, you're not making it hard when you keep showing up on podcasts and talking about what flight you just took to what country. You know, you're not making it hard, bro. You ain't hard to find. I'm sorry. You wouldn't be hard to find if you didn't do all that. But when you're saying all that, all they doing is verifying extra checkpoints. I mean, it's all on your phone. You got a phone. Everybody got a damn phone now. This ain't J. Edgar Hoover, King era FBI, man. Just right now. They watching me. They watching you watch me. It's whatever. I don't care about that no more. I don't live by that. I don't live. Hey, danger is real. Fear is a choice. Okay? That's so irrelevant. What is relevant is being realistic about telling black people what currently is affecting them, what will forever affect them, and being honest with yourself about your perceptions, your personal perceptions of what black is, and how detrimental it is that other black folk are agreeing with you when they up here labeling what's black based on your criteria, which again, all dates back to the 1500s, the transatlantic slave trade, and the implementation of everything that became what we call white supremacy. Every last bit of that whole concept and the reason for critical race theory being a need is because of people being extremist and labeling, well, you're white, and, oh, are you white? What are you? I don't think you're white. So guess what, my audience? That one ain't white. Okay, so, and then some of them say, you sure? And all that old stuff like it really matters. None of that matters. All this physical appearance judgment, he gets caught every time he try to play that. Joe Budden hit him in the head with, hey man, I don't believe one word of that story you tell all the time about there was a white girl in college that he thought had a crush on him. And he admits that the girl was very attractive and he thought she was mixed race because she had a big badonkadonk. She had a big old butt. And everybody always teasing him about that. And he's made it a personal, it's the joke he wants on it's the smoke he wants. He invites it. It's become he knows it's going to get laughs. It makes him seem a little more lighthearted when he's talking all this other crazy. So let me make sure I come with a little comic relief. That'll be one story. Then there's the other story about him in the mall with the white girl who was selling incense and oils and stuff that's typical of Afrocentrics that do that. And he thought that's whose booth it was. And then he sees the girl and realizes, oh, wait a minute. But he says he still spent money with her, yet he always talking about only support black businesses. And it's like, yeah, okay. There's nothing wrong with spending money wherever you want to spend your money. But there is something wrong with telling black folk, don't ever spend your money with anybody else but us. But here you are doing it. And it's just, so again, these are the few jokes he allows on himself. It's like, I'll roast myself. And then he always jumps back in on, but I'm telling you, sisters forever and all this other stuff. And I'm like, this guy is a joke, man. When are people going to wake up and realize? But the worst part about these kind of jokes, they're not a joke. Like I said, danger is real. Because the last time we took it all for a joke, we ended up with one of the worst administrations in the history of this country. And we're about to repeat the process. Stay true woke. Peace, y'all. Respect power money. Respect first. Always.